It's my pleasure today to introduce Dr. Stan Napper, founding dean of the College of Engineering at Houston Baptist University. Dr. Napper is a nationally known visionary of cybersecurity issues and has created a program at Houston Baptist which is very unique, not only to Texas but to all of the United States. Stan, it's really a pleasure to have you here. Can you describe kind of what the need for a cyber engineering program might be?
We know that there are 3 million job openings globally for professionals who know something about cybersecurity and the issues that would help us be more secure in the cyber world. Many of the threats are at the interface between operational technology, devices and systems, and information technology, data and computer networks. And a cyber engineering program, a cyber engineer, addresses that interface efficiently and securely.
So how's a cyber engineer different from a computer scientist or a computer engineer? It seems like that's a kind of a unique thing.
That's true, and cyber engineering is a hybrid between electrical engineering and computer science. It deals with both hardware and software issues, and in particular, a cyber engineer designs secure systems at the interface of operational technology and information technology. So there's a unique need. There's a global demand. There's certainly a demand in Houston, which has so many of the critical infrastructure industries located in the Houston metro area. And this cyber engineering degree is very needed.
I think I heard you say operational technology. That's kind of different from IT or some of our software systems, I think. What is operational technology?
Operational technology includes valves, pumps, meters, control systems, turbines, furnaces, generators, IV pumps, ICU monitoring systems, even implanted medical devices, heating, ventilating, air conditioning systems, and other building control systems. So it's a desperately needed approach to solving cybersecurity problems in oil and gas, in healthcare, in marine transportation, in building systems, and so many other areas.
Wow, it seems like you just described everything that happens in Houston. I can see why there's a huge need in Houston for cyber engineers. Have you been reaching out to industry partners around town?
So as we're building this new College of Engineering at HBU, I'm also building a network of industry partners that will help us develop the degree programs, the labs, the projects, the internship experience that'll make our students relevant and valuable when they graduate. So mostly I've been meeting with chief information officers, chief information security officers for some major oil and gas companies, some major healthcare and hospital systems in the area, and others from banking to finance to government, the FBI Cybercrime Task Force, and other government agencies, so that I can define the need, understand the need, and then build the programs to meet the need.
So you talked about need. There's not just a need for employees, people to do this, but is there a threat? Is this something that these people you're meeting with are worried about?
Well, so if you read the news and you see the breaches where someone has stolen patient medical information or a credit card or the financial information, and those threats exist, and we have to do everything we can as a nation, as a corporation, as a government agency to prevent the theft of information. But the threats that we're concerned about in cyber engineering are the threats where a virus, some malware, or some other attack would cross over from the information network, from the computer systems, into the operational technology that I mentioned before. And a single breach there could be catastrophic for a refinery or a chemical plant or a large cargo ship.
Wow, so it's really this big network of things that are so interconnected that there's a real need for these people to not just address the small things, but look at the whole picture and kind of address that.
Exactly.
But what can an individual do? What can we do as individuals to keep ourselves safe?
So as families, as dads, as employees, as managers, we have to be aware of the threats and the different types of threats. We have to be vigilant in maintaining the security of our own computer, our own phone, and other information transfer devices. And we have to use the wisdom that's available on protecting that information. We have to be ethical about how we handle our corporations, our employers' information. So in that sense, you could say that security is everyone's job. I once had the opportunity to visit a laboratory at the National Security Agency. They took me into a facility that was laid out like a house. There was a kitchen, a bedroom, a bathroom, a living area. We walked through there and they identified devices in each room that were connected to the internet and to each other. And they talked to us about ways that bad actors could cross into the entire network of that home through a computer, through a wireless crock pot, through an indoor weather station. Of course, they were working to develop techniques to counter that and prevent that. But when I asked, how are you going to protect us, thinking that that was the job of the National Security Agency, the director that spoke to us said, well, we're not. There's no way that we can handle all of that. We have to reach a point where every citizen is a cyber warrior. In other words, prepared and trained to manage their own information, their own devices and control systems.
So at one end, the individual's the first line of defense. What do you see kind of in building this college and degree programs and all these things that happen that are kind of addressing the bigger needs here in Houston?
Houston, as a metropolitan area, of course, is very large and still growing. But one of the things that I think may be unique about the Houston metro area is that in this region, you would find all 16 of the critical infrastructure industry sectors that the Department of Homeland Security identifies. Whereas before, and even in other large metropolitan areas, you would find some of those critical infrastructure sectors, but they're all here. Water distribution and wastewater, and electrical generation, and financial information management, as well as energy systems, healthcare systems, transportation systems. All 16 of those systems are here. So it's especially important here in the Houston metro area.
So the new College of Engineering at Houston Baptist University, it's not just cyber engineering though, is it? There are other degree programs that have come online at the same time. Want to talk a little bit about those?
Thank you, Dennis. Yes, cyber engineering, because it is a bit of a hybrid between electrical engineering and computer science, and certainly those students will take and learn electrical circuits, electronics, and control systems. They'll learn about programming languages and operating systems and computer networks and network security. And therefore, since we're teaching those things as well, we opened up more traditional career paths for students who would get an electrical engineering degree or a computer science degree. And those are pretty broad and well-established disciplines. Our approach to those disciplines, though, will have a cybersecurity flavor. We've identified some curriculum threads that our students will begin learning in their first year courses and then learn more advanced concepts until they become juniors and seniors. And cybersecurity, for example, is a curriculum thread that all of our students will learn in any of these 3 degree programs.
So you've got the college on the road. You've got your first class of students here. They're being in the classes and learning right now. You've come a long way in a really short amount of time. Really excited to see what the future has for you. What God's going to do for you guys. What are your thoughts about the future and where this program's going?
I want to answer about the future of cyber engineering generally, but also about our program. Certainly we are growing. This has been the first year and we met our targets for enrollment, for the faculty, for the funds we needed to build the labs and putting the labs in place. And our goals and plans are ambitious, but we are encouraged by the number of students that have already applied for next fall. The university has processed 1,000 applications for students who have come into the College of Engineering, of which they've admitted over 350, almost 400 students have been admitted. And we're working to encourage and motivate all those students to actually enroll in our classes. And the need is great. More broadly, for Houston, for America, I'm trying to understand how the attacks are changing, how the responses are changing, how can we be sure that our students, when they graduate 4 years from the time they start, will be prepared to deal with the threats that come across. That's one reason why I've been meeting these Chief Information Security Officers, going to some of their conferences and events, just to learn and to network. I was especially interested in the comments recently at the December meeting of the Chief Information Security Officers in Houston. Their keynote speaker was the Vice President of Security Engineering for Google. He essentially is the CISO for Google, but his title is Vice President of Security Engineering. I take that to mean that they're acknowledging the need for information and devices to work together to be secure. For example, this vice president suggested that Google as a company was moving back toward more physical security, to the extent that instead of a password, you might have a physical key that accesses your computer, and that would keep other people from using your computer. Even if they had the password, they wouldn't have the physical key. And then he also talked about the need to secure the supply chain. Those who are manufacturing your computer systems, your electronic system, your control systems, to the extent that Google was now building manufacturing plants so that they could verify every step along the way of any components that they were using in their devices. And then he also made the point that the human threat is still the largest threat. It's not just devices or technology that we have to be concerned about. And he suggested that what we need most is a new generation of cybersecurity professionals who understand how to engineer the devices and make them more secure. That was confirmation that we were on the right path at HBU in this College of Engineering, this cyber engineering degree.
So it sounds like the guy at Google was really kind of giving you a pat on the back for where you're going, whether he knew it or not.
He absolutely did. And I attended about 6 conferences in the Houston area last year on cybersecurity, in particularly addressing critical infrastructure assets. And a common theme that I heard was the need for these individuals who can cross over from the IT world, which in some sense has its own culture, issues, problems, preparation, and the OT world we were talking about earlier, which has a different culture and preparation and types of workers and employees. And constantly from the floor, the keynote speakers, the panels were saying we need more people who can cross over and do both. And that's what our cyber engineers should be able to do.
Now the thing that makes a program like this unique at HBU is the fact that HBU is a faith-based organization. What are the 3 pieces, I guess pillars, if you will, of the program that makes it unique?
Houston Baptist is, I think, a unique institution for the Houston metro area for engineering in the United States. I was a dean of engineering before I came to HBU. It's unique. The programs that we're designing are unique by combining science, technology, engineering, and math. We certainly want to do a good job of integrating those concepts, helping the students see why they're learning something in physics or math that will actually help them solve problems and design secure systems. We're integrating modern computing and information technology, but Houston Baptist is a faith-based institution. I'm a faith-based person, so I was attracted to that. I think our students are attracted to that, and I know that our network of industry partners is attracted to that. When they talk about the human threat, they talk about the need for more ethical employees and better trained employees who would make decisions and reduce the human threat there. So from the FBI Cybercrime Task Force to the global CISO of Chevron, when I talk about what we're doing at HBU, they say, well, that's the most important thing you've said, Stan. This faith-based component that leads to more ethical decision making, having a foundation of principles that would allow someone to make better decisions. That's a valuable component. So I've said that our College of Engineering are standing on 3 pillars: the STEM field, science, technology, engineering, and math; IT, including computing, information technology; and the faith component. STEM plus IT plus faith. That describes our college.
Well, I can't imagine a young person listening to this video not getting all excited about it. If you had just 2 seconds to reach out to that person watching the video, that young kid making this decision, what would you say?
I would say, if your goal is to make a difference for your family, make a difference for your nation, make a difference for yourself, for your community, for the place that you live, a degree in cyber engineering or one of our electrical engineering, computer science degrees, which also focus on cybersecurity, is a way to make a difference. It's a desperate need in our nation and in the world. And so the other thing that I've said, Dennis, about our college is that we're building graduates who will be securing America's future through engineering. I think it's just that important. We are securing America's future. We are securing Houston's future. Our graduates will be securing their family's future and their own future as they use these principles, technologies to address these important problems.
We've been talking to Stan Nappard, founding dean of the College of Engineering at Houston Baptist University. Stan, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Dennis.